Okay, let's look at the two other problems that we had left that involve negatives when we're converting to factored form. Now, this is still a quadratic function. It's got that power of 2, the quadratic term. So we're going to bring over this guy. He represents my area of x squared, of length x times width x, to create an area of x squared. Well, it's kind of, so I can always take care of my quadratic term very easily. My linear term and my constant terms, those create a little more thinking for me. It's not any different than we do with positives, but I just need to remember that when negatives are involved, there's going to be some decrease of sides instead of always extending my sides. So I still want to think about how I can arrange 2x linear terms to create negative 15 ones. So remember how we get those negative 15 ones? We always multiply however many x terms we added. So I need to think about the factors of negative 15 that will give me positive 2x. So I've got to bring my signs into it. I need to make sure that I don't interpret that as just a minus 15. I think that a minus, or I recall that a minus is the same thing as a negative. So what can I multiply to get negative 15 and add to get 2? I start, in my mind, I would start with 1 and negative 15. That's what I start with. If I add those, I'm going to get negative 14. So that's not what I want. So it's back to the drawing board. Other ways, 2 doesn't go into 15 evenly, so I'd go to 3. So I would think 3 and negative 5. Now, if I add 3 plus negative 5, I get negative 2. That's a clue. A red light goes off in my head. I'm really, really close. So I got negative 2, which means all I need to do is flip my signs. So if I had 3 as the negative and 5 as the positive, would I still multiply and get negative 15? Yes, I would. Would I add and get positive 2? Yes, I would. So that's the way that I need to arrange my model. I need to decrease one side by 3. I need to increase another side by 5. And it really doesn't matter which place I put that. Let's put the increase on this side. I've been putting the increase on the right-hand side. Doesn't matter if I put it along the top or the right-hand side. We're going to extend by 5 on one side. And that's an extension, so those will remain positive. I don't have to worry about shading them. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's line that one up. Okay. The other side I want to decrease by 3. So I'm going to put a 1. That looks like an increase of 1, but if I will shade it here, it's going to show me that it's a decrease if I shade it. That's what the shading indicates. So now I've decreased that side by 1. I want to decrease that side by 3. So I'll do 3 of them. I'm going to shade them all at once here. Now I need to think about that even though it looked like it was an increase of 1, I decreased it because I shaded it. So all of these 1 values are also going to be shaded because they are a decrease of 1. They are a negative 1 by a positive 1. Each one, because that serves as a decrease. So all of these would also be shaded to create the negative 15 that I want. With negatives, it's just necessary for me to understand the shading. And the more I practice, the more sense that'll make. One sheet. If you're drawing these on your paper, they occur a lot easier than moving these. Okay. Now I want them to be negative. I know that I don't want them to be. They are negative because that's a negative 1 squared by a positive 1 squared. So I need to shade them. And that doesn't show up, does it? There we go. That creates negative 15 ones. So, got my inside area represented by my standard form. This guy was minus 3x's. This group was plus 5x's, which minus 3x's plus 5x's together make that positive 2x linear term. And this section had an area of negative 15. So I'll know that x squared plus 2x minus 15, I got those negative 3x's back, decreasing by 3 and extending by 5. Same thing as a length of x plus 5 times a width of x minus 3. Okay? Very nice. All right, let's look at number 4. There's a negative involved here, so I know that there's going to be some decrease of sides. I've got my x squared term taken care of. This is an x by x. And I have to, since there's a negative, that means that I'm going to do some decreasing of sides. I want to find the factors of negative 32 that will add to arrange my negative 14 linear terms. 1 times negative 32 is not going to get me close. 2 times, let's say, negative 16. 2 times negative 16 is going to multiply to give me negative 32. 2 plus negative 16 is going to add to give me negative 14. So that's my arrangement there. Now this one, I'm going to extend by 2, and I'm going to decrease by 16. And I'm definitely going to run out of room here. That's 8. I need that many more to make 16. Whoops. Okay. Here we go. Let's move this guy down a little bit. Move this guy over. And we want to move these guys here. Okay, here's my extension of 16. And that will create, decrease of 16, so I need to shade those. You're probably better shaders. You get the picture, right? And I'm not even going to arrange my ones because negative 16 times 2 is going to give me that negative 32 that I want. All I'm looking for is what I did to my sides. So x squared minus 14 minus 32, minus 14x minus 32 is the same thing as x minus 16, decrease of 16 on one side, and an extension of 2 on the other. X minus 16 times x plus 2. And that is converting to factored form. Once you've converted it to factored form, you can see the other video to recall how to graph it. Good luck!